Yogi Clan, welcome back to Yogi Cycle Service. I thank you for stopping by here and checking out this video. In this video, we're going to talk about the braking system and hydraulic clutches. That's what this video is aimed at, and some service and some ways to repair those items. So thank you for joining. If you are new here and you like what you see in this video, hey man, stick around for a little bit. Hit that subscribe button. If you like the videos, smash that thumbs up button and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos are coming out. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for stopping by watching another one of my videos. Here, you know, but the people who haven't subscribed don't know, I'm Yogi. This is my shop. We do service, repair, Yogi Cycle Service. Anything motorcycle, or maybe it's just Yogi related. So, let's dig into it. We're going to start off with some story time. So, this bike is a 2014 Ultra Limited. It has a hydraulic clutch, it has front ABS and rear ABS brakes. I met up with a friend a few weeks ago. We got onto the highway. There was 6 miles of backup. 18-wheeler turned over, and it was bumper to bumper, and half the time it was stopped. It took a while to get through that, so I was practicing my slow races. Keep your clutch in the friction zone, use your right foot on the brake, right hand on the throttle, keep your bike upright, slow racing, right? So I did that, and then after traffic opened up and we got back on the road heading to a meeting we were going at, man, it was wide open. Not going to talk about the speeds we were allegedly doing, but we were having a good time. So I go to pull off the exit about 20, 30 miles down the road. I pull in my clutch. I go from 6th to 5th. Let go of the clutch like I always do. And the clutch arm just starts coming out oh so very slowly like this. I was like, that was weird. Oh well. So, and off this exit ramp there are 2 circles in the direction that we're going to, roundabouts.
On the roundabout.
It's roundabout.
That we have to go around. Thank goodness it's Sunday at 2 p.m. Oh, about 1 p.m. at this point in time. Not much traffic in my way, because as I shifted from 5th down to 4th, I realized I had no more clutch. So I looked over at my buddy. I'm like, don't stop, bro. So we go to where we're going. I get it down to 3rd. That's where I learned, visions from high school. My buddy Thad used to have a gold Volkswagen Golf. He didn't need to use a clutch. He could just shift it right from gear to gear without a clutch. And that vision popped back in my head. So that's how I got from 4th down to 3rd. Went around both circles without a problem. Made it to my destination, which had a vertical driveway like this. That was gravel. That was fun. Got it down into 1st gear. Made it up into the gravel driveway. Went around a tree, to which everybody was outside waiting, looking at us. Made it to a grassy spot. Locked my front, locked the rear, stalled the bike out. Thankfully, didn't drop it, but everyone was looking at me like, "What, Yogi? What is wrong, man?" I'm like, "Lost the clutch. No more clutch." To which then you saw .4 brake fluid dripping down from my master cylinder. Yes, totally lost the clutch, but I made it to where we were going, thankfully, Lord willing, and there was somebody there with a trailer who got Yogi home. So, praise the Lord, it all worked out the way it should. But, what went wrong? So, this bike is a 2014. And I heard a good excuse. Oh yeah, the shade tree surgeon says a cobbler's son has no shoes. My bike is 2014, 6 years old, and that's really still a stock fluid in the brake line. And in the clutch line. So I have never flushed either. And what happened, if you remember from some of my previous videos, you saw the black paint around the master cylinder clutch kind of getting eaten away. Yeah, that little rubber gasket at the top has slowly been leaking. But what I think happened, this is what I think happened. When I was doing the slow racing, I think there's a lot of water, a lot of moisture in the .4 fluid, because .4 fluid naturally collects moisture, and when that happens, it breaks down. It doesn't have the pressures. That's why your brakes feel spongy, right? So same thing. I haven't redone my brakes, so we're going to flush these brakes in our typical method using syringes and hoses. 2 60-milliliter syringes, one to pump it in, one to suck it out of the reservoir. Till you get about 3 of these through there, then you flushed your whole brake line, or flushed the whole clutch line. Now, I have already done the clutch. So, long story short, I have already recorded this video of all this work, and unfortunately, I had it in camera mode instead of video mode. So, I made it all the way to where I stripped down the master cylinder, and I think I realized it and started recording again when I painted it. So we're going to go through the steps that I did, and then when I get to the part where I have the footage, then I'll just become a narrator at that point. But to lead you to where we are, here are the basic steps we did. We first disassembled and took off my clutch. Now this is the brake we're looking at right here. But on the other side, you have your clutch master cylinder. So you don't have to take off your switches, don't have to take off your grips, just loosen up the clamp, take off the clutch master cylinder. I then disconnected the banjo bolt from the clutch hydraulic line to the master cylinder, and now you got the master cylinder free. When I did that, I dumped all of the fluid took the cover off, took the rubber, threw the rubber away, took my mirror off, pulled the pin out, pulled the clutch lever out of there, so I just have the master cylinder and the internal plunger part, okay? I then took brake cleaner. All you have to do is put pliers on the little end of the plunger, the little switch that your lever pushes on to engage your clutch, and I pulled that plunger out with the spring, so I had a clear cylinder there. I cleaned it all out with brake cleaner. I then took it inside, washed it out in the sink with like Dawn and warm soapy water, washed it all out, came back out to the air compressor, blew all of it out, and let that sit overnight. The following day, I went to Walmart and got some Rust-Oleum aircraft paint remover. And this goes in like a foamy, I might have started videoing this part, but this goes on as a foamy mix, and you spray it on there, let it sit 20 to 30 minutes, and then you can come out with it'll start eating away at the paint, kind of like what the brake fluid does. Make it bubble up and stuff, and you can wipe it off. I used a combination of 4/0 steel wool, I used a 5-in-1 paint scraper, and I used towels to get it off. And then, I probably applied this 3 or 4 times until I got the paint stripped off to a level that I would accept. I then took some 400 grade sandpaper and I sanded as best I could the entire thing. Did I do it perfect like hey, I'm a body shop body work? No, but I tried to do well to prep it and smooth up the surface, and it worked fairly well. So then while I was at O'Reilly's, I heard reviews on this. It's called Marhide Black Satin Automotive Trim Coating. I heard that is a very excellent match to the Harley Black on here without buying the Harley Black. This was $10 to $15. The aircraft remover was about $15. The brake cleaner was about $3, to give you an idea. I took a bolt and put it in where your banjo bolt goes. I then took a coat hanger, twisted the little end on it, and then hung that master cylinder like this, and then that end hung off the crossbar of the ladder, and I took the spray paint and I sprayed it and put 3 coats on it over 2 days. I then let it cure for 2 days. Also, incidentally, the old internals, the old plunger, I put that in there. I put that in there also so paint wouldn't get up into where the plunger goes. I also took blue painter's tape. I took a half of a Target bag, cut the Target bag in half, stuffed it in there, put blue painter's tape at the top, cut around it with a razor, took actually a dime and traced the outline of the window glass on the side and covered that up with a dime. Actually, what I used was a Ukrainian dime, because a Ukrainian dime and their money is just a hair smaller than an American dime, and it fit perfectly. It painted up really pretty well. This paint did take 24 hours to cure. So I did 2 coats in one night, let it sit for a day. The next day when I put the second coat on, there were still some tacky spots. Now it is very humid now here in North Carolina, so your results may vary. Put 2 coats on there. I then put it back on the bike, put the new rebuild plunger kit, which I got from Amazon for $30. I'll try to put the link below. Put that in there. I then ordered off of J&P Cycles 2 master cylinder brake, the little rubber gaskets, like this. They're for this right-hand side brake. I then went the next night, right before my trip to the beach, to put these on, I was going to bleed out the rear brake system and the front brake system and put the new rubbers on. In so doing, I have found out that Harley, this side for the brake does not fit the clutch. They have their own specific one just for the clutch that looks like this. It's different. This one's raised, that one's flat. This one will not work over here. So in desperation, because I really wanted to ride the bike the next day to the beach, this cap on this side has a rib that comes down the middle. I put it on the grinder to take the rib off, and that wouldn't work. And while in so doing, I kind of nicked the side of the cap, so I kind of killed the cap. Don't try that. So what I did is I then went on to Amazon and said, you know what, the heck with you. Because I don't think that side will be leak-proof now that I put it's just a slight nick, but you know what? I don't feel like repainting that again, so I'd rather get a good seal. So I bought two new. They're not black like the stock ones are, but they are chrome. These were like 25 bucks, no frills, whatever, get it on there. So tonight, I'm going to put this rubber on and that cap on, and then I'm going to bleed this side of the bike. And then she'll be ready. Bertha will be ready to roll again. So I'm going to hopefully be riding her, probably test ride her tomorrow, and then hopefully take her to Iron Saturday this weekend and do some riding this weekend. Bertha should be ready to roll. So I'm going to insert some of this footage where I'm able to, but that was the video I wanted to bring to you. So I appreciate you watching. I thank you for joining Yogi Cycle Service. I hope these repairs helped you know how to do these repairs. And you got any questions, man, hit me up in the comments below. If you like this, smash the thumbs up, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And I appreciate you joining me. All right, Yogi, take care. Peace.